Okay, here we go, and we're on to another Adventures in Computing. How's it going, guys? What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working on these. The last of my Lenovo T48s, T480Ss. I already took the back panel off this one. And in any case, we got to put a battery in here. We also got to take the BIOS password off. BIOS chip on here just in case. I think it probably would have helped if I would have open another tab, and I just started the stream and forgot all about the little video deal I was running here. There we go. Down here, so we can see what questions people might have if they do have questions. All right, and so here's what we're doing. So we're going to take the code off the BIOS chip. What I've been using to do this are these, and what they are, pretty neat actually, are little clips, such as these. What they do, you can see this in the camera, which I know you can. See that? It opens, it splays out a little teeny, like a lobster claw, and that goes around the pin. So what I do is I pinch these and put them all around all these little pins down here. And that's what, how we've been doing it. So that's been working well for me. So we're going to continue doing that method today. I've kind of done these before, but I figured, you know what? I'm going to finish up all 4 of them in a marathon run today. I got 4 of these left. Get all 4 of them done. I'm just checking to make sure that they all got good clips. Checking my clips as I pull them out to make sure they're not screwed up in any way. We need 8 of them because we have 8 pins. I actually bought another box of these because these were they work so well that I just figured I'd have 2 boxes. Okay, so 8 of those, and then I've already kind of pre-done up the cabling here. So what we have here is our programmer, which is not really anything special. It's just a CH134A USB programmer. See right there, it says it on there. 34A, and we got that. And then I've already pre-wired up this, and what this is pin 1 through 4 on one side, 1 through 4, and 5 through 8 on that side, so it goes down and around. Pin 1 on this board is right here in this top corner, starts there, and it goes around that way. So what we're going to do is first, I bought these extensions, which that came in handy because now I got my wires long enough to like work with them, because it used to just be this long, this short little bundle, and it was a pain in the ass. Although by adding a little more wire, it gave me a slight signaling difference, so I have to check my bins to make sure they match before I just delete a bin and then lose a file, and you know how that goes. So we don't want to be doing that either. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and wire this up. Pin 1 through 4 on this side. We're going to work backwards. We're going to do 4, 3, 2, 1 because it seems to be easier to go in that direction. These wires over there, these wires here. Start with 4. Just because it'll be easier. Go on the end here like this. Push that on, and there you go. Now your pin's connected. This housing on the outside is insulated, so it's not going to conduct. And then we're going to go ahead and connect them up. The first one's always the easiest, just simply because it's the first one. Clipping that down is usually very simple, but I always like to check on my phone as I'm working to make sure I did indeed get what I thought I got connected. And as you can see on my phone there, I did get pin 4 with pin 4. So we got that out of the way. There's pin 4 to pin 4, right? Yep. 3. So we gotta work backwards to 3. Gonna try to match colors for fun, I guess. I don't know why we're doing that, but whatever. Did you have that light on? What was it? I see. Yeah, light on. Oh. Sometimes my other trick. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I usually had better vision a couple days ago. I did this. Because I wasn't tired. Got it. And then the first one, which is going to be the green one, pin 1. Oh, ow, my nose is working. See? How does this look? There we go. Looks good. Make sure, yeah. See, we've got them all connected. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right, time to do the back side. So, start with 5. And we'll do yellow 5, yellow 5. Boop. Put that on there like so. Go splaying on the other way. Camera, I gotta screw it. Oh, shoot, my door just shut. Yeah, I'll leave it shut for now, I guess. think actually with a little bit less light, it's better. Believe it or not, but I don't know. Last 3 wires coming this way. Coming. Next one, which is 6. Wire 6 is here. Seems to work a little better as a better light source. Let's see what you're doing. Okay. Seven. Make it 7. Alright. 6. 7. How's this thing hanging on anyway? Sit on that big cap. I think that's all. Let's double check. More or less kind of like gotta double check you're on the pins. Yeah, good. Last one. Gotten pretty good at this over time. And you just always have to be patient with stuff like this too. You can't be in a rush to complete it, but at the same time, you don't want to spend all day at it. But you want to make sure you do a good job. Sometimes that can be hard when you're working with stuff like this. Ah, that last one, they're beautiful. As you can see, there we go. I'm all plugged in. Let's take a little view from the phone. I always like looking at the phone. Oh, such a great camera on it. Oh, look at that. My beautiful work I did. They're all hooked up. None of them are touching each other. So look at it just to see. You can even see there. Look how good the AI cleaned that up. You can see the little clips are just like right over the top, grabbing onto each pin. It's pretty cool. My camera is amazing on the phone. The level of zoom is just disgusting how good it is. We're going to go ahead and fire up our deal here. I got an extension cable here that I run because I don't trust, see it here? I don't trust having to move things around a whole lot. Once I get this thing connected, I like to leave it do its thing. I don't like to move a whole lot. I don't like to have huge areas. And then on this, actually it shows a diagram right here in the corner, which you can kind of see. And it tells you which way is pin 1. So like where the little dip is on that, see that little horseshoe dip right in the front? That's pin 1. So these pins on this side are for the ones we need. We need these 8 pins right here on this side. This is for 2-4. It's for 2-5 chips. we're doing 2.5. So we're going to go ahead and double check which one's pin 1 here. Pin 1 should go this way. So we're going to put that in here like so. You can't see me doing this. It's off camera a little bit, but sorry. And seated. That's what it looks like. Basically, just set it down, and I kind of do like this. Yeah, see. So see, you plug this into there, and this is pin 1 up here, 2, 3, 4, and around. And then all we do is simply take this USB, plug it into the end, and then if you get a red light that's bright and solid, usually that's a good sign. And so let's go ahead and plug this in and see what we get. There we go. See how the red light's real bright and solid? That's a good sign. We're getting what we're looking for. Now all we're going to do is pull up our software here. Do it right on top of this. So we're going to go files, file. Go programmer. This is a good programming tool here. My buddy Lead Farmer gave me this. Shout out to Lead Farmer for his time and effort he spent with me helping with this stuff. And the first thing you want to do when you get this thing plugged in is you want to detect. You click here and it showed up. So we're going to choose that one, select IC, and what we want to do is read the IC. So we're going to read it, and then as you can see, you look right here, see, look, the other light, the green light's on now. So now the red light's on, the green light's showing activity through these wires. So now we're just patient, let that read off. And we need to save it somewhere. So we'll figure that out at time. All my laptops have serial numbers to them. So I've been saving them based on the serial number of the computer. This is a T480S. So you see I've done a few of these. It's PC 16. The QX. Yep. That's what we're going to save our file into here in a moment once it gets done. The magic's done a little differently from here. Okay. And see, I have a little pin program that you can just push down on top of this, but you'd have to hold it this entire time. And then plus there's some other steps that have to be done, then you have to hook it back up. So I just feel like for this type of programming and for as slow as my programmer is, that little pin pusher one's cool. Well, I'm not gonna try it on these ones, especially if I know this works. I'm gonna wait and find a model that I don't know or don't have anything invested into it. I've already ordered batteries for these, hard drives, everything. So like I'm completing these units to sell them. I don't want to risk breaking them on a whim. So, no. I know we're just being cool about it, just doing our thing here. Alright, so then once we get the BIOS image written off, what we're going to want to do, and this looks good because we're seeing some code in the right side. So that looks good how we're seeing this code here pop up. I want to go ahead and hit the save button, save file. We're going to save this in the file as dump1. Save it in our correct model. EQX right here. Hit save. So we got that saved, and then we're going to read it again. I'm just going to detect again. Link mod chip, select IC, and you want to get 2 copies of the BIOS pulled off, so you know you've got, and then compare them obviously to make sure that they're in fact the same. And that's a good way of testing. Did your wires, do the job? Were they plugged in good? Did you get a good signal? Pull the BIOS correctly? We shall see. We shall see. Waiting. Yeah. It's a fragile tag, and we're gonna go ahead and try to turn a couple of these other way in here. Do multiples on the page. So that's done. I'm gonna go and save this off. And just dump 2. All right. Now that we got both bins, what we're gonna want to do, just stay on task for a minute here. See this way. Well, you're gonna want to go back into here. You're gonna want to open up some kind of like editor. I use HXD. I have the portable version right here. And this has a nice compare tool in it. So you go to tools and you can go to analysis, data, comparison, compare. You pick 2 bin files to compare, which is awesome because a good way to know you got a copy of your files. UX, there's one. You want the second one, same location, and then you can go ahead and go. And they show exactly the same. All contents are identical. That's a good sign. That means it looks like we probably got a good copy of the image. Next step is to F1, copy that. Auto unlocker tool. Photo patcher. Here. Command line. Administrator. Go ahead and hit yes on that. Copy this location. CD, boom, pow, go. And we're in that folder, and we're going to do real quick. We at here. And add a nearby image. AUTOPATCH. Dump 1.PIN, and then press enter. There it goes. And so now you see it's building those files underneath. You also have to have Python for this to work. Very important that you have Python or this will not work. And it's done. Now we got our patch files here. What we'll do is we'll take these two, put these out of here, take this back to the BIOS folder here, and go back into where we stored our BIOS image. And we're going to make a new folder, call this patched. P-A-T-C-H-E-D, patched, right? Basically, the reason why this is so important, if I could try to show this to you somehow. So now that we've done that, that's what we need to be at here for the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to unplug our programmer right here. I'll plug it here. Then we're going to unhook this and leave this plugged in because we're going to need these wires again one more time. So now that the laptop's in this situation here, we're going to leave this all hooked up. What we're going to do is get a power cable here. We're going to run through some screens here. What I'm going to do is try to do this on the bigger camera, I suppose. We're going to try to pull this camera up like so y'all can see what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this cable, I'm going to lift this lid, and I'm going to work on it like so. I need to press a few buttons here in order to make this happen. We can work on it upside down so we don't have to redo those cables. It's actually pretty light because it doesn't have a battery in it right now, so that's kind of going in. What we're going to do, plug this in here. Get it in there. There we go. And it's going to go ahead and want to boot up here in a minute. You turned it on. All right. You will get some text on the screen here in a minute. We want to push F1 to get in the BIOS. Once it pops off, F1. So now we're going to put in any code we want. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That's not the password, but I press enter. And it should let me in. Oh, enter's on this side. What? Oh. My bad. I never flashed the patch BIOS back in yet. I went and got ahead of myself. Shit. Hold on. My bad. I jumped the gun actually. I never flashed the patched BIOS back to the system. So yeah, the code didn't work obviously because it wasn't going to. That was my fault. That was me trying to be extra fast. Let's go and plug this back in. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's go and make this thing small again. Fault. I didn't mean to do that, guys. Sorry about that. Got a little ahead of myself. Yeah, so what I was supposed to do is write back the flash BIOS. So let's go ahead and plug all this back in. Give this a quick test. All right, so lights in. That's good news. All right, let's go back to our software. Let's run a test. Check. Showing up. Go ahead and choose that IC. And what I want to do is we're going to want to open file, and we need to load that patched BIOS. So that's my fault. So we're in the correct folder, BQX, go into patched, and load dump one patched. So we loaded that up, okay? And then what we're going to want to do is click this little down arrow right here. Click where it says unprotect, erase program, verify, boom. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. And so now it's going to erase the IC and going to flash that chip with the new BIOS image. See that light's working over there. What'll happen here in a second, you'll see it start writing the image back, and it's going to verify it at the same time. There it goes. And now it's programming the BIOS image. I got ahead of myself. I'm like, why didn't this work? Well, that's why. Crazy. What we did is we exploited a DXE driver in the BIOS image by patching a section of it. Allows us to circumvent something that locks the password up. And basically, someone figured out if you do this certain thing, you can kind of get around the BIOS security chip and write your own password to it. Which is what we're doing now. And if I could have got the BIOS passwords from whoever originally had gave this to my local recycler, I sure would have just put that in. But they got rid of the hard drives out of the use. They pulled what they wanted, and the rest is just do what you want. So they're not going to give me support. So this is all on my own, you know. And you know, I can get these things loaded with Windows with a BIOS password on them. Nobody wants to buy a computer with a BIOS lock on it, where you can't change any of the settings. It just limits what you can do with the computer. It might be a Windows computer now, it might become a Linux machine later, or a Hackintosh, or a little web server. Who knows what life it'll take on down its life cycle. So, I want to give everybody the ability to use all the features. I personally might not use Wake on LAN, but somebody might. And if you can't able to disable it, it's kind of worthless, ain't it? So that's where we're at. I got some new gaming videos coming your way, guys. I got a PS5 Pro or a PS5 and a VR headset and Gran Turismo and a couple other VR games that are exclusive to the PlayStation lineup. I'm excited to see what that's going to be like. Especially Gran Turismo. It's been a while since I played some Gran Turismo. Trying to get this done before the post office closes. I got a sale I'd like to get out today if I can. Well, this goes here in a minute. Once that programming completes. Almost there. And see, I would be having to, if I used the other tool, I'd have to hold down on this the whole time, which I just don't see myself keeping steady on this like that, on those little pins. So for me, this is probably the best method. The other option is you'd have to desolder each BIOS chip, flash it, resolder it, do whatever you gotta do, desolder it again, do whatever, and then solder it back in again. And that's a lot of work. You can just simply use these clips, these test clips to do it. So much easier of a process. Even the solder and the desoldering and all that can be a pain in the butt. So eliminating that makes life easier. Baby. There we go. Getting down to it. All right. And all right, there we go. So now the BIOS is flashed to the laptop. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unplug all this. Power that off. Power this off. Unhook this guy. All right. Now we can do what we were doing earlier with the cable and all that. What we're going to do is we'll try to do this again. This screen bigger so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. All right, so what we're going to do, I know this is upside down. This is just about the easiest way I can do it, unfortunately. So say if you can't see what's going on, I'm sorry. But as best as I can get it, I can explain it better than I can do it. So what's going to happen is we're going to plug this in. And then we're going to power on the laptop here. Power. And then the computer's going to turn on. We're going to hit F1 to get into BIOS as soon as it comes up. Here we go. It's got to do some detect stuff here. Eventually it'll post in a moment. It does this little like rotate, and then it finally posts. There we go. Hit F1. Now this is entering BIOS. It gives you a bad clock thing. Now you're going to go ahead and type in whatever you want. So I usually do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we know that's not the password. That didn't work last time. As you can see there on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4 has been punched in. I press enter. And it comes up and says, all security DXE driver copyright, this Victor dude, and this website, press any key. So you press any key. Then it says, warning, blah, 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 and it asks you to enter a code. And right here, you usually have to go and do something and whatever, but we don't have to do that. So we just press enter again. And then it says press spacebar and spacebar again, and now it's unlocked. And then it says go ahead and turn off the computer. So we go ahead and power off the machine, like so. That's it. The BIOS code's been removed. So now what we do is we flash the original BIOS back to the unit, and the DXE driver thing is what fixed the whole thing. Sorry if that wasn't the greatest picture. I do have like a little video on this. Might be a better, let me go and pull that up here. The last time I screwed around like this, let's see, right here. Oh, here we go. So, it takes any kind of says code here. There we go. So there's a little video of me like when I was able to get like a better angle on it. And that's what happens. And it removes the code, right? And we go back to putting our, tools back together and we flash that original BIOS back on. And then once we're done, it's all good to go. It's pretty nifty how this worked out. A lot easier than I thought it was going to be. At the end of the day, it looked like it was going to be a lot harder. But thanks to a lot of smart people, especially this guy I met named Lead Farmer, very smart guy, who's been in this kind of like world a lot longer than I have, teaching me this stuff, helped me get a leg up on a lot of this stuff because he had a lot of the programs already, had a lot of the software already, already knew a lot about this stuff. So plug it back in, it lit up. So our light's on right here. It's hard to see because of the angle, but I don't really want to move it because it's working. So yeah, this stuff's kind of delicate, unfortunately. It's not easy to just kind of jam it around to show people this and that, but I'm doing my best. Alright, so we open our software back up. Now we're going to go ahead and do a test to see what read IC again. And it's showing up again. We're going to choose our IC again, hit select IC. And then we're going to go back to load a bin. And now this time we're going to load back, we're in the same folder, WinPatch, we're going to load the original dump bin. So we got the dump bin loaded here, and then we're going to go ahead and erase and flash it back. So I'm going to click here, I'll protect erase flash, yes. And now it's going to go ahead and do that. So here we go, round 2. So now once the original BIOS is put back onto the chip, that's pretty much it. It's done. It should be fully functional, working, and everything. That's going to be probably it for me, guys. After this, I'm going to go ahead and run the rest of these off camera just because. And I showed this, I think, before, so this is, just me just kind of doing it one more time. We'll do a battery install on this one. Get my screws out, stuff in the battery we're gonna put in here. Do a battery install, hard drive install, and get it situated for prime time. Oh, we're here. Yeah, screws. Screws here. Got the hard drive. We got our batteries. Last, what else? You know, a piece of bubble. Just to get this one that's not boxed used up. Yeah. Got windows on this. Pretty crazy. Think you can get away with doing it like that. Takes a lot of patience to be able to put all those clips in. For sure. I broke a couple clips trying to be patient. I think I just broke one so far out of 10. I got 2 packs of 10. So technically I could do a 16 pinner if I ever came across one I had to. I could do it. You know. Do it. Hmm. Come on. Let's see. Come on, baby. Bishop. Please. All right. Okay, so now that's done. Well, flash back. We're gonna go ahead and shut this down. All right, that one's done. Pull the clips loose here. All right, final test. Let's see, are we in good shape? Oh, we're gonna install the battery and stuff too, but I just want to show you guys what this looks like now. Oh, huh. Original BIOS back on. Turn it on. There it goes. There it goes. Entering setup. There you have it. No more BIOS password. New password. Disabled. 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 Back. Exit saving changes. Yes, and there you have it. Boop, boop. And now that CRC code's gone too. I'll just enter setup like a normal computer. Oh yeah, there you have it. Gold memory, 16 gigs. And I got 24 total because I thought an 8 gig stick in, but I'm gonna put a 16 gig. All right. So back to our last step. Couple last steps here. Got ourselves a battery. We'll pop this sucker in. Actually, do kind of like how this one does it. It houses the battery in such a way. There's like these little standoffs down here that it sits in. So like these little hooks in it. So basically, you really can't get the battery layout wrong. We do it like this. Set it down there like so. Line it up. Push it down. There we go. And now we're lined up. Get a couple screws here. Bought a screw pack on eBay because unfortunately some of these screws are not there. It would be nice to have the correct screws to put in here. And then we gotta find ourselves one that fits on this M.2. Looks like that. Oh, well, it's a little thick. That's a thicky girl. Maybe this one will fit better. Let's see. Strip the hell out of the screw for the M.2. There we go. There you have it. Oh, got 256 gig drive here. locked in place. So you got a screw which I want to use because this wasn't extra. It was one that we found though. But later on, I gotta think. I don't want this one getting lost. That right down here. Next side. Now the battery's seated. Usually do one there, put one in over here, just to make sure that this thing's seated down and it ain't gonna go nowhere there. It's already seated in the bottom half of the case, so there's our bottom plate. Got our whole thing installed. Bottom plate back on. This clips in like so. So you usually gotta do the bottom here first, then lay it down like so. Man, we gonna go ahead and hit it with some screws here. Put the bottom cover on. And there you have a nice, beautiful ThinkPad. Battery's dead because it hasn't been charged yet. So let's go ahead and plug this in. I don't know if this thing's got 16. Might have 24 gigs of RAM in it because I didn't actually check. Go. There you go. I already had Windows on this drive from before. Okay. See? There's 16 gigs install RAM. Perfect. That's what we're supposed to have. Right processor speed. Brought 5, 256 hard drive. I think it's good there. Battery's charging up. Battery says 0 battery plugged in. So it's charging now. How long it takes to get some battery power up in this thing. Plug it, does it die? It does not die, but it does not stay charged very long. Ooh, it went down quick. Now with that battery charged up now, boy, it's low on power. Very, very low on power. But there you go. That's redoing a whole machine from scratch, adding a battery power spot or battery hard drive, and taking the BIOS password off. Y'all have a good day.
That's all, folks.